Oh, I went to the hospital 'cause I was feeling weird. I must have waited half a day before I got seen. The doctor wasn't sympathetic, but he had a beard. His spectacles were shiny and his hands are nice and clean. He looked me up and down and then began to frown. He steepled up his fingers and he drew a deep breath. He said that my condition had a medical definition. He looked sharp into my eye and this is what he said.
How many times a day do you masturbate? How frequently do you give into the shame of self-abuse? How often is your jism brought about through onanism? I suggest that self-pollution is the reason you're confused.
He said that when I'm at home I must leave my cock alone. My onanistic habits were the source of all my grief. He said that the asylums all had lots of folk inside him who sent themselves insane to the act of self-relief.
How many times a day do you masturbate? How frequently do you give into the shame of self-abuse? How often is your jism brought about through onanism? I suggest that self-pollution is the reason you're confused.
I'm sorry, Doc, I mean I'm not a learned man like you, but I just don't see the connection.
Look, this is getting rather tiresome. Please try and engage with the process. Now answer. Ask one more time. Ready? How many times a day do you masturbate? How frequently do you give into the shame of self-abuse? How often is your jism brought about through onanism? I suggest that self-pollution is the reason you're confused.
Well, all right, Doc, you are a professional. I'll give it a go.
Good man.
It's amazing what's arousing once you've set your mind to dousing the erotic flame that warms the boiler of your carnal parts. The slightest stimulation so excites imagination. You find your hand inside your pants and self-pollution starts.
Look, maybe you don't understand the seriousness of this situation. If I may refer to page 286 of the People's Common Sense Medical Advisor.
That's the book you wrote, isn't it,
It
Doc?
is indeed. You can see my name on the spine, R.V. Pierce MD. Page 286, I said. Untold miseries arise from the pollution of the body. Self-pollution, or onanism, is one of the most prolific sources of evil, since it leads to both degradation of body and mind. The habit, once established, is overcome with the greatest difficulty.
That is true.
It's a vicious habit, often practiced by those ignorant of its dangerous results. Statistics show that insanity is frequently caused by masturbation.
Fucking hell.
Precisely.
Well, Doc, I think you've convinced me. You've shown me the error of my ways, the path that's open to me. So, I'm going to reduce the number of times a day I masturbate, cut down the frequency of my shameful self-abuse, bring about my jism through sex, not onanism. I can see the self-pollution is the reason I'm confused.
By George, I think he's got it.
Thank you very much indeed, Doctor.
No trouble at all.
I'll shake you by the hand.
I'd rather you didn't.
Alright, fair enough. Anyway, see you later.
Goodbye. Nurse, could you send in the next patient, please?
Alright there, Doc.
Hello, what seems to be the trouble?
I've done my legging. I think it's broken.
Really? How many times a day do you masturbate?
That was good. That might be a take.